brought coffee.
Yeah.
I made copies.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote 2 episodes. Just 2. I wrote the pilot, part 1 and 2 of the pilot, and I wrote with Amy. I wrote half of what was that one called? Ticketmaster. But I was involved heavily with every single script of season 1 and season 2. Along with Rob Renzetti and whichever writer was writing that particular episode, we sat in a room for a day and figured out the story collectively together for all of season 1 and season 2.
And Amy?
I got to come on the show really early and learn about this wonderful world that Lauren created, and a lot of my episodes dealt with different ponies, and so I got to learn about Applejack first I started, with Twilight and Ticketmaster, going off of what Lauren had already established when she wrote the 11-minute version of it, and then I got to learn about Applejack with Applebuck season, and then Rarity and Dog and Pony Show, and then, I kind of got to explore every pony, and I feel really lucky, and I got to write music, which makes me very happy.
I'm glad, Amy, that you mentioned music. I understand that you didn't know that there was going to be someone else writing the music, so you recorded your own.
Well, it's not that I didn't know that somebody more skilled than me was going to be doing the music, because obviously they would hire somebody who actually had that talent, not me. But I always thought when I wrote a script that I should do a version of the song. So I would always, after I couldn't write the lyrics without having a tune in my head. So whether it was a tune that I kind of borrowed from somebody like Stephen Sondheim, who's talented, or if I managed to come up with my own thing, I would always do a scratch track of my version of the song, which I then sent along. And then I found out about a week ago that, for instance, with the Smile song, Daniel Ingram never got my version of it, which makes it even more awesome that he totally got the spirit of what I wanted to do with the Smile song without hearing my silly version of the Smile song.
Do you remember your silly version of the Smile song?
I do remember it, but I don't know, do people want to hear my silly version? I have the lyrics because this became a thing on Twitter where people are asking about it. It's a long song in my version. Not that it's short, but there's a whole section you guys don't know about. So hold on to your hats. Buckle down. Okay, here we go. My name is Pinkie Pie, hello, and I am here to say, how you doing? I'm gonna make you smile and I will brighten up your day. Bonjour, it doesn't matter now, what's up? If you are sad or blue, howdy partner, 'cause cheering up my friends is just what Pinkie's here to do. 'Cause I love to make you smile, 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 fills my heart up with sunshine, shine, shine. All I really need's a smile, smile, smile from these happy friends of mine. I like to see you grin, awesome, and I would love to see you beam, rock on. Seeing the corners of your mouth turned up is always Pinkie's dream. Pump bump. But if you're kinda worried, oh no, and your face has made a frown, hold on. I'll work real hard and I'll do my best to turn that frown upside down. 'Cause I love to make you grin, 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 bust it out from ear to ear. Just give me a joyful grin, and you fill me with good cheer. It's true some days are dark and gloomy, and maybe you feel sad, but Pinkie will be there to show you it really isn't bad. There's one thing that makes me so happy and makes my life worthwhile. works when I talk to my friends and I get them to smile. Did you finally get... Hold on, this is the powder section. Hold on. Did you finally get that nasty cough cleared up there, Derpy-Doo? Yes, I followed your advice and drank Zikora's no-cough brew. Your new haircut's really cool there, Harry, looking super fly. Well, I can't believe you noticed. You're the best friend, Pinkie Pie. Hey there, Shimmy Shake. How did Twist do on her last spelling test? Thanks for asking, Pinkie Pie. This time she really did her best. Hey there, Rarity. I really like your super sense of style. Thank you, Pinkie Pie. You sure do know just how to make me smile. Twilight, here's that book you wanted. It's about that great white whale. Hello, Spike, so nice to see you. Wow, I love your shiny scales. Fluttershy, I found this lost friend. Bunny, I'll take care of you. Applejack, tell Granny Smith I love that tasty apple stew. Polo ponies, best of luck. I know your game will go just great. When we win, we want you here so you can help us celebrate. Hey there, Rooster, that sure was a super cock-a-doodle-doo. And hey, cows, I gotta thank you all for busting out a moo. Moo. You chickens lay great eggs, and pigs, you really are fine swine. And seeing you all smile is making me feel really fine. I really am so happy. Woohoo! Your smiles fill me with glee. Whoopee! I give a smile and I get a smile, and that's so special to me. Thank you all for being friendly, tee-hee, and for making my day bright. Spreading joy out to all my friends makes me feel out of sight, 'cause I love to see you beam, beam, beam. Tell me, what more can I say? Makes me happy when you beam. Yes, it always makes my day. Yes, I love to make you grin, grin, grin. Bust it out from ear to ear. Just give me a joyful grin, 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 and you fill me with good cheer. Come on, every pony, smile, smile, smile. Fill my heart up with sunshine, shine, shine. All I really need's a smile, smile, smile from these happy friends of mine. Yes, the perfect gift for me is a smile wide as a mile. Make me happy as can be. All you have to do is smile, smile, smile.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Well, I hope you've learned a lot about writing. We'll start talking about that now. So I think let's jump into the process. How does it go from an idea to a script?
Well, there's like official procedural stuff, which is sometimes a bummer. It depends on the show you're working on, but I'll tell you how it went on Pony, which was, our writing staff we were all freelance, and I was working out of my office, so it's like I didn't have the luxury of having a writer's room and getting all my writers in a room and saying, let's come up with a million ideas. So a lot of it was me and Rob Renzetti, our head writer for season 1 and 2, trying to come up with stuff, the two of us, coming up with a premise, submitting it to the Hub and Hasbro for feedback. Those that got approved, when we tried our best, as the schedule allowed, to cast our premises to an appropriate writer. So we would go like, oh, this episode is very this or that, so this writer would be best for it. Met with the writer, spent a day, the three of us, with index cards, working out all the beats of the stories, coming up with jokes, coming up with gags, getting our 3-act structure down, working out our emotional arcs, some things more detailed than others. Other things, it was just tell the writer, just, you get the idea, go with it. And they would write an outline about, I don't know, 3 pages long. That would get submitted for approval, and we would sometimes get the go-ahead. Sometimes we would get, yeah, write this, but change this part, or adjust this. And once we got the approval for that, the writers would go on, write the script. It would go through Rob and I for revisions, for notes. Then once Rob and I were happy with it, it would go to Hub and Hasbro, and then they would do their notes. And I don't know, so there were like 3. I think we went through 3 revisions with the network before it was finally finished, approved, stamped, and sent on to record.
Yeah. And then when we get it in the studio, we start changing things anyway. It's true.
No, we never do that. We
Well,
we
no,
never do that.
It's not us that does it. We get there, and then somebody in somewhere, something comes into the cans and says, "That sounds funny. Let's say it this other way," and then we do that. And I think it's funny that the writers have to go through this sort of 3-tiered revisions process, and we get in the studio and go, I don't know. So, Megan, how does it feel to be selected as the crazy writer?
Well, I've known Lauren for a really long time, and I'm a little concerned that this must be when she said we cast them according to what they think they would be good at. But I had so much fun writing those. I like anything where you can take a character, a personality trait of a character, and have them swing as far to the sort of extreme version of that character trait, and then try to bring them back to the middle. I think actually that's sort of a running theme in most of the writing that I do, if I really analyze it, is characters trying to find balance, trying to find their way back to this middle ground, and I feel like that's kind of what I've been able to do in a lot of my episodes.
Cool. Well, I know I'm glad that Big Mac's middle ground involved Smarty Pants. I'm pleased about that. Thank you. And so, Lee, your writing process must be quite different.
Well, no, actually, when I'm writing for League of Super Evil, or when I was writing for League, it is by committee the same way. We have the script supervisors, we have the story editors, and I had the 2 creators. So it is definitely by committee. But eventually, what I found is that if you persist with the jokes hard enough, the jokes will usually win out. But there is beats to all the, like you were talking about, Lauren was talking about the 3-act structure, and when you start to delve into, as a writer, the actual nuts and bolts of how to put together a script, it really is, it's very difficult because it can be very formulaic, and it can lose its sense of soul and self and fun, because you're like, no, by this part in the story we have to say, you have to do this, you have to have the inciting incident, the rising action, the thing, and the so it can get. I found that it was very, by committee is very hard as somebody that just likes to write funny all the time. They're like, no, we need this, and the character arc and the development, and we have to have this by this. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
So how do you avoid? Because I know that you do have to stick to that kind of formula where you create an inciting incident and then ramp the action up and then drop it off and all the other stuff you have to do in a 3-act structure. How do you avoid keeping it from being formulaic? Because I know that in Pony it never seems to be formula. It doesn't read as formula.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it is.
What?
I'm a big stinker for not formula, but I find that 3-act structure, hitting specific beats it's a guideline. They're really fantastic guidelines, and I think when you follow them and you start there, and you have the goal of hitting those beats while you're structuring your story, then when you're figuring out the details, sometimes if it just feels right to maybe cheat the formula a little bit, that's when you know what it's like. This is the stupidest analogy. It's building a house, and you've got to have the structure, and you've got to have the architecture if you want to make sure that your house stands. But then when you go to, like, you know, when you're putting on the siding and deciding what paint you want to color it and what you want for your floors, then that's when you can have fun, and that's when you can be more organic. So for me,